Exposed. 10,000 fake student visas in Canada. The shocking truth revealed. Welcome back to Canada Chronicles. Today, we're diving into one of the most shocking revelations in Canadian immigration history. Over 10,000 fake student visas have been uncovered this year. This isn't just about numbers, it's about the lives of students left in legal and financial turmoil, the families devastated by lost savings, and the cracks exposed in Canada's education and immigration systems. How did this happen? What is Canada doing to fix it? And what does it mean for the future of international students? In this video, we'll break it all down, exploring the fraudulent schemes that caused this crisis, the human cost, and most importantly, Canada's response, a system under reform, groundbreaking measures being taken to restore trust and integrity. Stay with us till the end to uncover critical insights into how Canada is addressing these challenges and how students can protect themselves. If you're passionate about staying informed on Canadian immigration and education updates, be sure to subscribe to Canada Chronicles and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Let's get started. Canada's international student success story meets crisis. Canada has earned its reputation as one of the most desirable destinations for international students, offering a pathway to top-tier education, career growth, and even permanent residency. Each year, hundreds of thousands of students from across the globe choose Canada to build their futures. But in 2024, this success story revealed a troubling underside. Over 10,000 fraudulent student visas have been discovered, shaking the foundations of trust in Canada's immigration and education systems. The majority of these cases involve students from India, exposing vulnerabilities that have left lives in limbo and forced immigration, refugees, and Citizenship Canada, commonly known as IRCC, to implement drastic reforms. This crisis has raised serious questions about institutional accountability and the integrity of Canada's international student program. The fraud unveiled. This scandal began to unfold when IRCC intensified scrutiny of documents submitted by international students. Central to the fraud were letters of acceptance, which are essential for obtaining a Canadian student visa. These letters, meant to confirm a student's admission to a legitimate educational institution, were being forged on a massive scale. Investigations revealed that over 10,000 fraudulent LOAs had been issued, with an estimated 80% of cases linked to Indian students, particularly from Gujarat and Punjab. Unscrupulous immigration consultants in India were producing these fake documents, promising students guaranteed admission and visas in exchange for exorbitant fees. Many students unknowingly relied on these consultants, only to discover the fraud when facing legal consequences in Canada. In some instances, students enrolled in colleges and began their studies, unaware their visas were invalid until routine checks flagged their documents as fake. How the fraud took root. The scheme thrived due to significant gaps in oversight. Canada historically trusted its designated learning institutions to verify LOAs, but this trust left room for exploitation. For-profit colleges, in particular, have faced criticism for failing to rigorously validate documents, focusing instead on increasing enrollments to boost revenues. In India, the lack of regulation over immigration consultancy created fertile ground for fraud. Many agents operated without licenses, charging fees as high as 10,000 Canadian dollars for forged documents. Tragically, many students were unaware their applications were fraudulent until it was too late. These systemic issues exposed the need for stronger regulatory frameworks in both Canada and source countries like India to protect students and ensure the integrity of the system. The human toll. The consequences of this fraud go far beyond administrative issues. Thousands of students are now facing deportation, financial ruin, and emotional devastation. For many, the dream of studying in Canada has turned into a nightmare, upending their lives and their families' futures. Take the case of Rakesh, a 22-year-old from Gujarat. His family sold farmland and borrowed money from relatives to pool their life savings and fund his education. Full of hope and ambition, Rakesh arrived in Canada ready to build a brighter future. But months later, he received a deportation notice. The letter of acceptance he had relied on was forged by a consultant he trusted, and his visa was invalid. Now, Rakesh is caught in a lengthy legal battle, while his family struggles with financial insecurity and the emotional toll of seeing their sacrifices unravel. Rakesh's story is one of thousands. In 2024, Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada reported over 1,485 deportation or entry refusal cases directly linked to fraudulent documents. Behind each number is a student whose life has been derailed. Families often sell assets, deplete savings, or take on crushing debt to fund their children's education abroad. When these plans fall apart, the financial impact is devastating, not only for the students but for entire households. the emotional toll is equally profound. Many students describe feelings of betrayal upon learning they were deceived by consultants they trusted. Anxiety, depression, and social isolation are common, with students fearing the stigma of being associated with fraud or deportation. Families back home endure their own struggles, including shame within their communities and the stress of trying to recover financially from an irreversible loss. This crisis also tarnishes Canada's reputation as a trusted destination for international students. Families, particularly in high-risk regions like Gujarat and Punjab, are reconsidering their plans amid fears of heightened scrutiny and stricter policies. For a system reliant on transparency and trust, this reputational damage could have long-lasting consequences for Canada's ability to attract the world's brightest minds. The human toll of this scandal is vast, affecting not only students and their families but also Canada's standing in the global education landscape. It is a stark reminder of the need for stronger safeguards to protect those who trust in Canada's immigration and education systems. Canada's response. A system under reform. Thanks for staying with us this far. We appreciate your time and hope you're finding this information valuable. In response to this scandal, IRCC has introduced sweeping reforms to rebuild trust and restore the integrity of the international student program. A major step has been the centralized verification system for letters of acceptance, launched in December 2023. Every acceptance letter issued by a designated learning institution must now be verified through this portal. To date, over 529,000 documents have been processed, with more than 17,000 flagged as invalid or cancelled. Additionally, IRCC has introduced stricter compliance requirements for institutions. Educational providers are now required to submit biannual reports confirming the enrollment status of international students. Institutions that fail to meet these standards or are found complicit in admitting students with fraudulent documents face penalties, including suspension from enrolling new students for up to a year. Rules for students have also been tightened. Transfers between institutions now require a new study permit, ensuring better oversight of academic progress and preventing misuse of permits. IRCC has further enhanced its investigative efforts, probing over 2,000 cases of suspected fraud in 2024 alone. However, challenges remain. Critics point to gaps in enforcement, particularly in Quebec, where some institutions have yet to fully adopt Canada's compliance systems. These discrepancies highlight the need for a consistent national approach. Accountability of educational institutions. The role of educational institutions in this crisis cannot be ignored. Investigations have revealed that some for-profit colleges knowingly or negligently admitted students with questionable documentation. These institutions have been accused of prioritizing profits over academic integrity, creating opportunities for fraud to flourish. This lack of accountability has fueled calls for stricter regulation of for-profit colleges. Advocates argue that institutions benefiting from Canada's international education system must also share responsibility for safeguarding it. Measures such as random audits, stricter penalties, and improved transparency are essential to addressing this issue. The path forward. While Canada's recent reforms are a step in the right direction, more work is needed to protect students and restore faith in the system. Experts and advocates propose several solutions. Canada and India must collaborate to regulate immigration consultants, introducing mandatory licensing and penalties for fraudulent practices. Public awareness campaigns can help educate students on avoiding scams. Institutions need robust verification systems and accountability mechanisms to ensure the authenticity of documents and monitor student progress. Legal aid programs for affected students are crucial to helping victims of fraud navigate the complex immigration system and seek justice. IRCC must continue investing in resources and staff to handle the increasing volume of applications without compromising accuracy. Advice for prospective students. For students planning to study in Canada, this scandal highlights the importance of diligence and caution. Work only with licensed immigration consultants registered with Canada's College of Immigration and Citizenship Consultants. Verify the authenticity of your documents directly with the issuing institution, and rely on official sources for accurate visa requirements. Avoid promises of guaranteed visas or shortcuts, they are almost always too good to be true. As we've uncovered today, the discovery of over 10,000 fake student visas is a wake-up call for Canada's immigration and education systems. The consequences are far-reaching, impacting students, families, and the country's reputation. While Canada's reforms are promising, rebuilding trust will take time. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with others. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think Canada should do to prevent fraud? And if you haven't yet, subscribe to Canada Chronicles and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on immigration, education, and more. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.